Daniel Sports Central, we go over our March Madness game preview and prediction on the Sweet 16 matchup between the Texas Longhorns and the Xavier Musketeers. Huge matchup for both teams coming up here in the Sweet 16. You got Texas. This is a team that you could argue be the hottest team left in this tournament. They won the Big 12 tournament, and this is a team that is now in the Sweet 16, and they are very dangerous as they take on Xavier. Now, Xavier on the other side, this team has played excellent so far in this tournament, and they're very much one of the big dark horse teams remaining in this tournament. We'll be covering a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today, starting with their team trends. Texas beat Penn State 71-66 in the round of 32. A close matchup at the end there, but Texas got the win in the end. This team is 28-8. Heading into this matchup, 6-game winning streak as well. Mentioned that this team did win the Big 12 tournament. So this is a team that they got a winning streak going. Conference champs, and this team has been excellent so far in this tournament. They had that dominant win over Colgate in the first round, and then the win over Penn State, also a very hot team in the second round. And as for Xavier, this team beat Pitt 84-73, took down the Panthers, and this team, they did have a close game against Kennesaw State in the round of 64. Kennesaw State led them for a while there, but Xavier took control in the end, and they got the win. It was close in the end, but Xavier proceeded on, and they looked much better in the second round against Pitt. And this is a team that I am much more confident in heading into the Sweet 16 than I was heading into the round of 32 for them. But yeah, this team is 27-9 heading into this matchup, and I still think Xavier, despite being the underdog in this matchup, very much still has a chance. Games be on Friday, March 24th in Kansas City. Tip-off is 9:45 p.m. Eastern. This is the last Sweet 16 game to tip off. Spread's going with Texas here by 4, so the Longhorns are favored. No surprise there. Texas, as hot as they are right now, it makes sense. And the over-under is 149.5, which honestly, I could see the over-under being, I think it should be right around 155. It might sound crazy at first, but this is going to be a high-scoring matchup, I think. You got two of the best offenses in the country going head-to-head here. Texas has a strong defense, but Xavier has been a bit vulnerable defensively this season. This has all the makings to be a high-scoring game here, and I wouldn't be surprised one bit if this game went over. But your BPI is going Texas right around 70%. You look at the tournament runs, we mentioned Texas beat Colgate by 20 and beat Penn State. Xavier beat Kennesaw State in a battle and took care of Pitt in the second round. Your stat comparison, Texas averages 78 points a game. This team allows 67. And Xavier on the other side, this team averages 81 points a game and allows 74. So, Xavier does get more points a game, but if you look at Texas, they are significantly better on defense if you look at it statistically. And in the BPI, Texas is number 5, Xavier is 21. Your notable matchups, Texas, they were 2-1 against Kansas this season. They split the series against Kansas State and Baylor. K-State is in the Elite Eight. They had an excellent win over Michigan State here today, and that was an incredible game, definitely one of the best games of this tournament to this point. But point being, Kansas State, they're a solid team, and Texas did split the series against them, and they were 2-1 against TCU and also split the series against Iowa State. As for Xavier, they were 1-2 against Marquette, lost to Gonzaga by 4. They swept UConn, which UConn, that's a team that's now in the Elite Eight as well. They've been really impressive in this tournament. They're very much a dangerous team heading into the next round. And Xavier was 2-1 against Creighton and also swept the series against Providence. Your key points, Texas 28-8. This team is, they're elite all around, but especially on offense. You got Marcus Carr, who is very much dangerous. He's been outstanding all season for this team. All around, he's an excellent ball player, and he is brutal to stop. You look at this team otherwise. You got Timmy Allen, who's also a huge impact player for the Longhorns, and this team is experienced. They got experience, and they're one of the teams to beat in this tournament. You look at the Sweet 16, the 16 teams left. Now it's down to 14 as of right now, but this Texas team is definitely solid. And you look at Alabama, you look at Houston. I think Texas is right up there as one of the main contenders to win the national title. And they're arguably, once again, the hottest team left in this tournament. You could make a case for that. But for Xavier, this team has also got an elite offense. They're a balanced team, and they're experienced as well. So you got two experienced teams here. You could argue Xavier's a bit more experienced, but both teams have got elite offenses. I would say Texas is better on defense. That's the main difference between these two teams, and that's what gives Texas the upper hand here, as Xavier is a bit vulnerable on defense. But Xavier, one of the true dark horses of this tournament for sure. I mean, this team hasn't, even from the start, didn't receive too much noise heading into the first round. I mean, they were very much overshadowed by Texas as we looked forward to this tournament from the start. So this is a chance for them to prove everybody wrong, and that's a powerful thing heading into a matchup. And that said, let's get to the prediction here for Texas and Xavier coming up here in the Sweet 16. This has all the makings to be an incredible matchup, and in the end, I've got Texas winning this game. 83-80 is my predicted final score. I see this being a high-scoring matchup. I mentioned this before. You got two elite offenses here. Xavier's a bit vulnerable on defense, but I mean, both teams' strengths are on the offensive side. And so that said, I see this game being high scoring. 83-80 is my predicted final score. I'm saying 55% towards Texas. This is really a game that I could see going either way. I just think Texas is the more solid team here. Marcus Carr, really like him, really like this team all around. And I've got them knocking off Xavier in the end, taking the over for sure, and Xavier to cover the spread in the end. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this matchup, and I appreciate you guys watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.